Hello, everyone. Good evening. So, going over the elitism versus pluralism discussion for question one, I would say that the elitism dominates pluralism as far as from the textbook here. It says, among members of the House of Representatives, 95% have a bachelor's degree, as do 100% of the members of the Senate, but yet fewer than 40% of U.S. adults have even an associate's degree. So as far as that goes, it's the classic saying of, the American dream, you can do anything you want, the unalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But it kind of seems like whether they have degrees and stuff like that, it makes a big difference whether that can get you on the right path to being in the upper echelon of politics. And then not to mention, also it says here in the text that approximately 73% of members of Congress are men and about 76% are men. Currently, about half of the members of Congress are millionaires. So you look at these things and you see college degrees, you see generational wealth with half of Congress being millionaires. 73% of members are male. 73% of members of Congress are men, and 76% are white. So you see a very large amount of the people who are on the upper scale of Congress have a college degree, have generational amounts of money, millionaires. They're white males. And to me, that just doesn't show a lot as far as honoring what the American dream is, as far as that anybody from anywhere can come to America and pursue life, liberty, and a pursuit of happiness. Because, when 73% of your members of Congress are male and 76% are white, there's no diversity there. It's all just white men. And it makes it to where minorities would have a very hard time pursuing that level of politics. As far as question two goes, I personally couldn't find any acts that were passed through the government in the materials that were provided in the weekly to-do list. Maybe I just missed that and I just couldn't find it. If so, that's on me. But maybe I can look again or look at some classmates' answers and try to edit this after the fact. And moving on to the last question, as far as the panhandling laws go, last year, the Supreme Court ruled that cruel and unusual punishment clause of the 8th Amendment does not prohibit counties from punishing unhoused people for sleeping in public, even if they have nowhere to go. So, but this does vary from state to state. In Mississippi, for example, on the ACLU.org website, the counties are very active as far as misdemeanor charges for people who are not housed. But then we have states also like Louisiana and New Hampshire, with Louisiana ruling in New Orleans that this was unconstitutional to charge people misdemeanors for being unhoused and sleeping in public. And with New Hampshire being, as long as the people who are unhoused and homeless are peaceful, then their panhandling would be protected under the First Amendment because they are peacefully panhandling. So that's as far as federally, states do have protection to pursue misdemeanor charges, but it does vary on a state-to-state basis based upon how the state views the Constitution and based on how the state perceives the activity of panhandling. Anyways, wishing everybody a good night, and until next time, thank you.